This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. We're here in Manchester following Joshua Buatsi's fourth round win over Dos Santos. Oh, are you ready?
Have you been using the barber in the bubble?
No, I haven't. I actually got it done before I got in.
Oh, right. I was going to say. Very smart.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Don't usually start interviews with a compliment. What's up?
I thought you looked very handsome. And I thought the beard was very impressive. I like the way you've sort of gone quite low there and then just grown it into this crescendo. And looks very soft and well groomed.
Do you want to touch it?
Ooh.
It's a bit weird, that was. Anyway, let's start at the top of the card and work our way down. Joshua Buatsi, fourth round win over Dos Santos. Brutal knockout.
Yes. Brutal knockout. I think it's one of them where a fighter comes in relatively unknown, 15-0. We know he can fight. He's fit. He tried to win. You saw his reaction when he woke up as the devastation of defeat. He wanted to win the fight. And you don't really know a lot about him, as you didn't know a lot about Maurizio Lara and Straffon. But you've got to go about your business like Buatsi did. And I thought he boxed really well. Got hit a little bit because Santos was a little bit awkward and rangy. But brutal knockout, great way to finish it, and a good way to come back nearly 8 months out of action with a new trainer. Time to kick on now. You know, I'm very thoughtful of the fact that I don't want to miss his peak moments to win a world title. He's 28 now. He's teamed up with Virgil Hunter. Virgil will probably want 3 more fights with him before he fights for the world title. I would like 1, but I'll do as I'm told. But I just feel like, you know, if he fought Bivol now, who would you back? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be one of them, isn't it? You know, Craig Richards done brilliant against him. I just think Buatsi's a real talent, but we need to get that opponent next time around that is between Dos Santos and Bivol, and there's many levels between them. But we've got to get someone that's, you know, shows Virgil that he's ready for that test, because you can't beat Dos Santos and say he's ready for a world title. You can say he has the ability to win a world title, but he hasn't had a win that will make you know for sure that he's ready. And I think when you've got a fighter as good as Joshua Buatsi, you don't just toss a coin. Do you know what I mean? And say, oh, well, if he's good enough, he's good enough. You want to prepare in the right way, because he can really fight. And it was a showreel knockout, and he did what he was supposed to do. He'd done a good clinical performance against a fighter that was a level below him.
Moving along, because I'm aware that you're going to have to go on the Matchroom live show shortly. European Super Bantamweight title between Gamal Yafai and Jason Cunningham. Massive upset, but what a brilliant fight. Yeah,
I mean, I think it was one of the best fights I've seen this year. I think Gamal boxed terribly for the first half of the fight. I mean, it was a disaster, wasn't it? Was he knocked down 3 times, 3 10-8 rounds? Won a lot of the rounds on the back end just through pressure. But Cunningham boxed really well, was really disciplined. I'm absolutely gutted for Gamal because he's gone over to Italy, he's won the title, he's a massive favourite tonight. But you can't help being pleased for Jason Cunningham and Steffi Bull, you know, who's sort of changed his life. All-time great performance for him tonight to win the European title, and congratulations to him. Lerone Richards over there I thought was sensational. I don't know how you're going to beat him. You're going to have to be good, and you're going to have to be able to hit hard, and you're going to have to be able to catch him. I think Dave's going to develop him, get him sitting down his shots a little bit, punching a little bit harder, and if he can develop his power, I think he's going to be a real threat at world level.
Before you move on, just while we're on Lerone Richards there, is it going to be difficult for you to kind of match him next? Obviously, his awkward style, yeah. It's going to be very difficult to kind of place him. He's not, kind of, with all due respect, a massive name in a 168-pound division. Are you going to have to kind of overpay to get the right opponents for him?
Probably. I mean, you know, you look at I've seen various people on my social media tonight, people suggested Chris Eubank Jr. You know, he's probably going to look at him and go, why would I fight Lerone Richards? Jack Cullen, right? Good example of someone that might, because it would be a dream for him to get a European title shot. Rocky Fielding, I think, is a fight that would make sense. You know, does Rocky look at it and say, why do I need to fight for a European title? I don't know. So in all of those situations, it always comes down to money, and you're not going to pick Lerone Richards as a guy that you want to fight style-wise. But if you want to try and win a European title and you want to box on a big platform and you want a payday, then that's why the likes of Cullen and those kind of people, of course, would just jump at the fight. But the guys who have a bit more to lose probably wouldn't.
Dalton Smith, another really impressive performance. 6-round stoppage win over Lee Appleyard. Going to be difficult, I'm assuming, to kind of match him and hold him back, because he's really flying through the levels.
I think Dalton Smith is one of the best prospects in world boxing. I mean, his shot selection, he doesn't waste anything. Obviously, great relationship with his dad as his trainer, and I love that. With Dalton, he's similar to Buatsi. I believe he can beat so many people now. You know, I believe you can win the British title now. You know, could he beat Sandor Martin for the European title? I mean, you know, it's a tough fight, but you don't just throw them in and say, well, let's see. You get them in the right position with the right experience. I think what I want to do with him now is take him to America, let him box on our July card over there, get him 10 rounds under his belt, come back, headliner next gen, start thinking about, you know, picking up maybe Commonwealth titles, maybe a shot at a British title. I think if Dalton Smith doesn't win a world title, I think we've all done our job wrong. I think he's a fantastic fighter and he has all the ability to go all the way, and he has a great head on his shoulders as well.
Another European title fight on the card, 3 there tonight. Tommy McCarthy, Alexandre Dure didn't really bring an awful lot.
I don't know what Dure was really disappointing. Tommy done his job and I come over, started screaming, just say, beat him up, get him out, that's what you got to do. That's what I was pleased with Tommy, because if that goes 12 rounds, it's a stinker. So when people come and they sort of feel the power and don't really fancy it, beat him up, get him out of there, end of the fight. And that's what he done. This week, we all agreed and signed off on the Chris BILLAM-SMITH fight for the British Commonwealth and European title. So tonight was just about getting the win. That fight will be part of a card at Fight Camp. Tremendous fight. Nice bit of beef already engaging.
2 of the nicest guys that I've met, and they apparently don't like each other.
I think it was something like McCarthy said he knocked out Shane McGuigan in the amateurs, but I think they only sparred together, and the stories are very different. So like that's just sort of sparked it off. And then it's a really good fight, though, isn't it? You know, and I said, Tommy's in a great position now in the world rankings, but ultimately you need a standout, high-profile fight, and that's it for both those guys.
Going to quickly whiz through the last couple of questions. You told Andy Purwell, shout out Andy Purwell, doing a great job in America last week, that 100% AJ Fury would be signed and announced and done tonight. Yeah. It's not. Where are we with it?
You don't know it's not, but it's not going to be announced tonight, no. But it has been Eid, which I actually probably ignorantly didn't even know. And you know, we've been chasing a few bits that have taken a little bit longer than normal. There's been conversations going on, even tonight, with both fighters. Again, I don't want to bore you, but this fight is happening. This fight is done. August 14th, Saudi Arabia. Everything's moving forward, and yeah, again, next week, mate. Next week.
What? Okay, keep going. Okay, great. Yeah, kind of throw me a little bit there. So when can we realistically expect an announcement? We've had so many soft announcements, 90%, 100% last week. Yeah. Where are we with it?
Where we are with the announcement is there is paperwork, particularly banking paperwork, that is taking time, especially over Eid. Like, all the fighters are happy, all the fighters are in training for that fight. The stadium's even started to be built. So, you know, I can't tell you any more, but if I give you another date, you're only going to give me an interview and say, you said that. So I'm going to say nothing other than you either believe it's done or you don't, and you'll see.
Final question, Julio Cesar Martinez versus Sonny Edwards. I want to see that fight. Where are we with it?
Yeah, where are we with that? I don't know. Cesar Martinez is fighting in June in Mexico, and then we'll see. You know, he has to unify the division because he's going to be moving up Superfly very soon.
Okay, Eddie Hearn, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Nice one, Eddie.